Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, once again to the DreamHack Open Stockholm 2015. We have one more round of 16 match to close out the night. It's going to be Snute versus A르마니. Some ZvZ action, guys, and this is a pretty big match. I'm Nathanius, joined on the desk by Todd and Apollo. Apollo, of course, greatest commentator in StarCraft 2 history. How are you guys doing?
Doing really good.
You never make this kind of mistake.
I never did, no. That's why he is the 7th best host, is it? Or 8th?
Well, you gotta,
it's really a shame that you let Lycan slide one above you, bro.
well, you got the juice like that, man. I don't understand.
I'm trying to play the victim now, are we?
You're breaking my heart, Apollo. I come out here. I knew you wanted to get your passion back on casting.
Yep.
They told me that they wanted the best commentator here, but I said, no, Apollo really needs a chance.
Well, the thing is, I got put into casting, and the thing is Adabisi called me and was like, hey, so you can do hosting, that's fine, but Nate has been struggling recently in casting because he hasn't been streaming as much, so has actually not played as much. So I was like, okay, no, I can do it. I'm not very good, but I can do it. And then
all jokes aside, you guys both are pretty good. Let's start the circle jerk again, because
that sounds good to me.
we make too many harsh jokes, and people are gonna think we're serious.
Yeah.
You guys both are pretty good.
I actually am serious.
Not as good as Red Eye, though.
It's been a great day. I think we've had a lot of interesting results as far as WCS goes, especially. This match won't be quite so tied into that, as we just have two players fighting for glory and money.
Yeah, this just feels like DreamHacks and the IEMs of the past when WCS hasn't really been involved in as much, and it's just Snute versus Koreans again. And he's the last European in the tournament. He's the last remaining player that can fight against these guys, and we've had that a lot over the years, and hopefully he can fight against A르마니. You know, Snute loves his Zerg versus Zerg.
Yeah.
So it's a good shot for him.
He's been very vocal, actually, about how he appreciates the matchup a lot.
Yeah.
And he's done very well in a lot of ZvZs in the past. Remember, like, he was one of the first guys to really beat Hyun a lot at a time where Hyun was unstoppable.
Yeah.
And now he goes up against A르마니, who I don't think he's particularly going to have too much info on, but he might not mind, because Snute kind of has his own style and idea on how to play ZvZ usually.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how A르마니 kind of plays against Snute style, because it's going to be like that.
If he can tailor another build to counter his opponents.
You'll have to see how many builds A르마니 can tailor, Todd. I think that's a really important thing. Definitely wouldn't want to get any ruffles in his coats, to say the least, as far as the ZvZ goes, as it can be a pretty tricky matchup. Do you guys like Snute's chances in this series, then?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
All right. Well,
And Nate answered. Take it away.
That's just absolutely amazing to know.
Keep
So glad to have you guys
bro.
here.
We'll keep backing them back.
Favorite colors?
Red.
Blue.
Okay, reasonably conflicting there. What race is going to win this tournament?
Protoss, obviously.
Terran.
Ooh.
What?
You realize Rain is in this tournament, right?
Yeah, but he's going to lose to a Protoss or a Zerg before.
That's not actually possible, though.
He plays Reality?
If he were to play Reality, you just said
he plays Hyun first.
Who plays Reality?
It would be SOS.
There's so many matches that
Getting
we look so
answers out of
stupid
them.
every time we ask this kind of question.
No.
All jokes aside, I do think Protoss is...
While you guys try to figure that out, we'll take another look at the bracket, so those of you at home can know.
It's Lean.
If you did your job, the bracket would have been up.
The bracket's
Nate.
here, man.
Yeah, too late now.
I brought it.
It's Leanock.
We already look like fools.
It's okay. That's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah, so Reality is going to beat Leanock, then Hyun, and then Curious in finals.
You think Reality's going to win this tournament?
No. I was just entertaining the
Glad
idea.
you cleared the air on that one.
Terran could do well.
Snoop's got a good chance against A르마니, and he's got a good chance against Hurricane Solar as well, to be honest.
And he's got a good chance against Curious. I think even like if you had to play him in semi. SOS, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
Well, I think SOS stands out as the scariest player on the right
you
side.
got to look at this as like an SOS Rain finals potentially, right?
We shouldn't overlook Curious. Everybody always does it, and look what happened last DreamHack. Just won it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He found himself on the stage with a champagne bottle. He had no idea how to open.
But SOS wasn't there.
Yeah, that's true. SOS, does he have the drive, though, here to try and, I guess, keep on revealing builds?
Now that he knows he's 100% in for BlizzCon, maybe he
goes to like his B and C builds.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll use my backup builds, and they're probably not going to be enough for these
my
guys.
job here is done and just leaves?
Yeah.
So actually, I just forfeit the rest of the game.
Just BlizzCon is coming up, and it's really important. Now he's guaranteed to be in. Do you think maybe he uses his backup builds? further in the tournament.
I would like to see that. Plus, a little Galsy here, a little Maximus Black there, maybe a Roddy build or two.
I mean, Roddy builds are the main builds usually.
Yeah, well, that's also fine.
So Snute going up against A르마니 now. With how much info Snute's going to have on A르마니, surely he's looking to try and play a standard, you know, how he loves to play roaches, potentially into some transitions. Infestors, if things get crazy and he's ahead enough. Are we just looking at a Mass Roach versus Mass Roach? RVR, as our friend Red Eye would call it.
It's hard to say, to be honest, because you don't know how they're going to approach the series. Because if they approach it aggressively, the series could end in 20 minutes. You know, with the super aggressive builds you can have in Zerg versus Zerg. So it just depends on their approach. It also depends on their confidence, because usually when you're confident, you're going to just be playing the game longer, and that's where Snute usually would go. So maybe it's on A르마니 how this series plays out.
Yeah, he's looking awfully cheerful, though. He's getting excited, getting pumped up for this best of 3.
Look at that camouflage jacket.
Yeah.
With his name on it, too.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, no, it's just Ambition. I saw the A, and I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of sick.
There's like stacked gems on the side. I was like, oh, does he have like a mineral patch, like pylon on his chest? But he's a Zerg, so it wouldn't really make any sense. Yeah. I don't know. I got nothing.
That was a Red Eye tier joke, bro.
Hey, man. You gotta, you fake it till you make it, right?
You're trying to climb up the rankings of the host, but...
Yeah, you might have slipped down one more.
I literally could not contain myself. So if we look at that then, ZvZ, obviously we see a lot of Roach play. Snute likes a longer game. How about the mental game? How does that play into this? Okay, now he's smiling. Okay, so
I have a good Snute, it looks like. I think he's confident.
Some days
Snute is really happy these days, actually, in general. Like, every time we see him in a tournament, he's just, like, smiling and happy to be there.
There was one big thing that Snute had problems with in WCS in Poland, and the reason why he lost versus Kung Fu Panda, was it?
Yeah.
Is his shoulder injury. Played a massive,
he looked very
part.
uncomfortable. Like, even before and after the games, he was, like touching his shoulders this. Like, you could tell he had a problem with that. He looked fine here.
Yeah, he said that after he lost in Poland, that was going to be his main concern and things to improve on was his shoulder, because it was really hurt. The longer the series goes, the longer he was playing matches, the more it hurt.
Right.
It happens though. Like he's like what, 26 now. He doesn't have much long in this industry.
Is he 26?
I don't know.
What are you doing here, Tom?
That's why he's got a microphone, man.
You can be any age to commentate or host. Red Eye is the living proof.
Fair enough.
We're making too many jokes on him.
Sir Scoots and Red Eye.
I love you, Paul. If you're watching,
I'd like to work at Gfinity in the future.
Well then, so I guess that in that case, there's no pressure on Snute coming in here. He's not the guy that everyone's pining for to try to qualify for WCS. What's a good result for him? Is he okay if he gets eliminated here? Is this the worst possible thing that could have happened?
No, I think losing in the previous round or the round before that.
Okay,
probably, but
can he be satisfied with a finish here if he were to lose to A르마니?
No.
I don't think so. I think Snute would be fine with losing with guys like Curious or SOS, but probably not A르마니.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's a guy who's won tournaments in the past, who's beat top tier Koreans. I don't think Snute considers he should be losing to somebody like A르마니, especially in his best matchup.
Yeah, when you're looking at the bracket and knowing who his potential next opponent is, he's probably looking past that too. And like a loss versus SOS would probably be like, okay, that's where I'm gonna bust. But apart from that, I think
that sounds fair. Yeah. Can either of these guys beat SOS? Would we pick one of them to have a chance?
I think they have a chance. They have a chance. As in, they have a chance out of 100 or something. I think it'd be really tough. But the thing is, SOS, he's going to have to play a Zerg as well. I think it was... why do we do this every time? He's going to have to play a Zerg, I'm pretty sure, right? And... he's going to show a bunch of builds. SOS, even though he's got quite a few... Yeah, Curious. So even though he's got quite a few, he's the defending champion as well. He's going to have to play his A game. So if you look at this, like since the quarters, they will be one by one. His future opponents, they will be watching. And that's going to be another Zerg he has to play. So we talked about this earlier in the tournament. And so far, I don't actually think he's had to play that many PVZ, which is good for him. But now is the time he starts playing in them. And whoever is going to face him later down the line is going to be studying him very hard.
All right, well, we'll have to see how much studying is going on for this series then as we are ready to go into our next best of 3. It is actually the last match of the round of 16 before we kick off the top 8 show tomorrow. Let's head over to the casters, Apollo and Todd.
Why, thank you, Nathan. It's really good to have you here on the desk. It's time for Snute